We have the possibility of severe weather in mid-Missouri tonight. Good evening, I'm Lydia Nussbaum.
And I'm Jim Rick. Thanks for joining us. Tim Schmidt has been tracking the storms all day. Let's send it over to him with the latest details. Tim.
A developing story tonight. About an hour ago, President Trump announced the United States, along with France and the United Kingdom, have begun launching strikes against Syria. The attacks are in response to Syria's government unleashing a chemical attack against its own people last week. President Trump also had harsh words for two of Syria's allies.
To Iran and to Russia, I ask, what kind of a nation wants to be associated with the mass murder of innocent men, women, and children?
There have already been multiple reports of bombings in Damascus, hitting targets including scientific centers and military bases. Syrian state TV is reporting that Syrian air defense forces have begun launching counterstrikes against the U.S.-led attack.
Getting back to today's weather, severe weather can sneak up on us, and of course the best idea is to have a plan ahead of time. KOMU 8 talked to residents living in downtown Columbia and found most were unsure what to do in dangerous weather situations. If you're in a tornado and if there is a tornado and you're in a high rise, avoid elevators, stay away from windows, and find shelter in the basement or the lowest part of the building. However, we heard from a tenant who says she was never briefed on safety plans upon moving in.
We weren't really given any sort of tornado type of safety precautions or anything like that. I definitely think that having those safety precautions projected to all the residents is very important.
Columbia does not have a single FEMA-approved shelter. However, a new addition at Grant Elementary School will feature a safe room built to withstand 250-mile-an-hour winds. The price tag to audit the city of Columbia could reach $750,000. KOMU 8's Erica Munsinger is live in Columbia to tell us what one councilman says about the proposal.
I'm live at City Hall, where City Council members received the report from the Missouri State Audit Office. They also learned that the audit could take 2 to 3 years to complete. In March, the City Council requested a quote for a performance audit. A recently released memo put the cost anywhere from $500,000 to more than $750,000. Councilman Michael Trapp says that should raise a red flag.
It could be counterproductive if we're trying to demonstrate that we are using the people's money in the best possible way. Spending close to $1 million to demonstrate that might actually be counterproductive.
The council will discuss the audit at its meeting on Monday. Reporting live in Columbia, Erica Munsinger, KOMU 8 News.
United Airlines is expecting $600,000 from the city of Columbia, as well as the partners who brought the Denver flight to Columbia. The airline began offering that flight last year. It's part of a revenue guarantee agreement. The guarantee makes up for lost profits if passenger counts are low. The city says the guarantee isn't necessarily a bad thing.
United has told us that they're very happy with the mid-Missouri market and working out of Columbia Regional Airport, and that they want to continue to do so.
United flies to Denver once a day and to Chicago twice a day. Rockbridge Elementary soon will get rid of the classroom trailers. The district says it will build an extension to the school using part of the $30 million bond passed a few weeks ago. The district says a priority is keeping up with future growth.
It has seen exponential growth. We're looking at future developments in that area and trying to make sure that we stay ahead of it rather than constantly playing catch up.
The district will issue the bond in June of 2019. Bumstark says the Long-Range Planning Committee is always looking for community suggestions. Its next meeting is May 10th.
Several new phone scams are hitting people in the Jefferson City and Holt Summit area. Scammers are telling some people they've won money, but it could cause them to lose it all. KOMU 8's Sydney Olson is in the studio to tell us what techniques these scammers are using.
Scammers are telling people they're calling for tech support to tell people they've won a vacation or money and more. News of the scam spread after someone posted about their experience on a community Facebook group. Almost 20 people commented on the post saying they received similar phone calls in which someone asked for their information. According to the post, the scammers were saying they were calling to lower someone's interest rate or to say the person had won some sort of prize.
So I did go ahead and answer it. And the gentleman said right away, Mrs. Schaffer, and that was kind of a cue right then. Instead of Schaefer, I realized that he didn't quite understand.
She said the man calling was polite, but a red flag was that he never stated where he was calling from. If you receive a scam phone call, you should report it on the Attorney General's website. In the studio, Sydney Olson, KOMU 8 News.
Governor Greitens made 2 appointments to the Missouri Ethics Committee today. Greitens appointed Democrat Wayne Hankey and Republican Bill Burks to join the committee. The Ethics Committee is currently investigating a complaint against the governor. It alleges Greitens failed to disclose that his campaign obtained a donor list from a charity he founded. Missouri Democrats are seeking to tie the Attorney General Josh Hawley to Greitens, despite his call for the governor to resign. The Democratic Party issued a statement Friday saying Hawley has not done enough as Attorney General. Hawley is running against Senator Claire McCaskill for the Senate seat. A Hawley spokesperson says Senator Claire McCaskill and her supporters, quote, peddle proven falsehoods. Hawley has avoided local events Greitens has attended. Hawley and 10 other state attorney generals filed an amicus brief against the state of California today. The brief alleges California's agriculture and energy regulations ignore federal law's power on state law. Hawley said in a release the regulations are, quote, unconstitutional and clear overreach by big government proponents.
The U.S. Justice Department says President Trump's personal attorney, Michael Cohen, is under criminal investigation. Cohen filed a motion to restrain the evidence collected 4 days ago. Agents raided his home, hotel room, office, safety deposit boxes, and electronic devices. They say the raids were authorized by a federal judge to find evidence in a criminal investigation. The DOJ is not saying what Cohen is under investigation for. The White House press secretary was asked today about Cohen.
I know that the president has worked with him as a personal attorney. Beyond that, I don't have anything else to add about the relationship.
Is Cohen still the president's personal attorney?
I'm not sure, Joe. I'd have to check.
Wanted to ask.
I can only speak about White House staff.
Still to come, the city of Fulton is helping people get rid of some of their trash.
Plus, a Holt Summit ordinance gives small businesses more power. 2 stories from Callaway County. The first, Fulton is helping out with spring cleaning. Starting tomorrow morning, the Tennyson Road Fire Station will collect household hazardous waste and old electronics, paint, batteries of any kind, cell phones, insect repellent, and cleaning sprays are among the long list of items that are accepted. Any items containing asbestos cannot be accepted. A reservation is required to get rid of the items.
Schedule a time, and then you just come up here at the drive, and then usually members of the fire department will help guide you over here to drop off the items.
If you miss tomorrow, don't worry. The collection center will be open every 2nd and 4th Saturday of the month through October.
Residents of Holt Summit who smoke may have to find new places to do it because of a new city ordinance. Businesses can now decide whether or not to restrict smoking on their premises. The ordinance restricts smoking within 15 feet of a business or playground. One owner says his business shouldn't be affected.
As long as you do it outside, I mean, you could be doing the smoking outside here on a couple feet away from my place, but it will not affect the customers in here.
Fines for smoking a non-smoking area could cost between $50 and $250. Before you drink the extra glass of wine, you might want to hear about the research coming from the University of Cambridge. New research shows drinking the equivalent of 7 drinks a week may increase your risk of death and shorten your life expectancy. A healthy moderation is considered 1 cup for women and 2 cups for men. The research also detailed connections between alcohol and cardiovascular diseases. Experts close to the topic say while research is important, the results likely won't have an immediate impact.
It's taken decades for us to change people's opinions about smoking. I don't think we're going to change people's opinions about drinking overnight.
KOMU 8 talked to restaurant goers downtown about the study, and most people said it will not change their drinking habits. Despite the weather around us, plenty of baseball was played today.
Tigers, Royals, Cardinals, we've got it all next in sports.
Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
Good evening, everyone. Though the weather is currently trying to fight it today, spring is here, which means we've got baseball and softball highlights to get to. First up, Mizzou baseball, who is coming off of their first win at Missouri State since 2013. Tonight they started a 3-game set at Florida. In the first, Brett Bond knuckleball to second, good enough to bring home the first run. That didn't last very long, though.
Coming up on KOMU 8 News at 10 o'clock, the latest on the U.S. missile attack in Syria, what it means for U.S.-Russian relations.
And we're still tracking severe weather across mid-Missouri. Tim will have the latest at 10 o'clock. For now, let's get one last look at the forecast.
From the tornado watch here in just maybe about a half an hour, because most of the thunderstorms are starting to move toward the St. Louis area. We'll have more updates at 10.
So what's going to happen Sunday?
Some snow. That's all I want to say about it. Some snow is back in the forecast.
Third Sunday in April with snowflakes falling.
Wow. Well, keep the jackets out.
That is our time for now. Thanks for joining us.
Have a good night.